Hello, lovelies, and it's MamaG here. MamaG here. Rusty's home. She's not working today at the time that I'm videotaping this. While you're watching it, she might be working. But anyway, so welcome to all the newbies, and welcome back, OGs. Hello, my yarny peeps and my non-yarny peepers. I haven't been saying that. It's a Yarnolicious day. It's kind of like PJ Chronicles, though the bottom half of me is still in my PJs. The top half of me is sort of kind of almost ready. It's been brushed and washed, the top half, you know. So I decided to sit for a little bit until I heard from the Rusty so that I can see if we're doing anything today, because it's her day off and we might go out. And I was crocheting this lovely item that I showed, and I'm very disappointed because it is huge. All right, let's just do this for a hot sec. This is a Bago Day. It's upside down, so it might look weird. And this is just how wide it is. And I keep going, and I keep going, and I keep going, and I go to that point. I made this way too wide. Can't frog it because I cut all the yarn and tied it. So it is what it is. I wanted it to be a long cloak. The tutorial that I'm using is Crystal's tutorial. She did it about 2 years ago. I think it's hooded cape. She does it in a really pretty mustard color. And it's pretty much double crocheting on the top part that goes to your shoulder, and then off the shoulder. I'll hold it right side out to show you. You've got, let's try the right side. You've got the bobbles, and then it's really a front post, back post, double crochet, cluster type thing. So that's what I'm making, and I'm making this for somebody. And unfortunately, because I don't know how to figure out yardage on an item that you're using, this is way wider than it needs to be, and it won't be anywhere near as long as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be really super long, but it only had one of each of these. I don't have the exact yarn. I do have more black Red Heart, but that I would make the cape out of. I mean the hood, I apologize, the hood. But I don't have any more of those two colors in pink, and I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I might, since I'm only this far down, I might start incorporating a totally different color and then incorporating that in with the other two. That's might be the only thing I can do to try to get this a little bit longer, because otherwise it's going to be like a shawl, and that's totally defeats the whole purpose of what I'm trying to make. What else is new today? Anyway, so yeah, so we're just, oh yes, I am in pink because it's that time of year. I don't normally wear this color. It makes me even more pale than I already am. And but I do wear pink in October. All right, so let's get to, I probably should write this stuff down so that I keep my thoughts focused. Okay. I'm going to venture to say that most of you who watch us know that we are in the process of becoming monetized, all right? At where we are at this point is where we have to send YT, personal information, addresses, names, bank account stuff. And then you wait for that to be cleared. They send you a PIN number. Then you use that PIN number to do something. And then at that point, your channel can receive super chats, super stickers. And then on that thing that you term, where you can hit the like and share on that little thing, if you pull it, you'll see people that are monetized. It's like, I think it's a heart with a dollar sign. And I think that's a super thanks. I know I sent one to somebody once, and a super thanks. So those are things you can do when you're absolutely legitimately 100% monetized. Okay, so we're waiting on that. I think the confusion on the YT end is the fact that the name and account that we gave them isn't my account, because any monies that's generated through this channel will be going to our charity of mental health and meows. So that, I think that's a confusion, because they've had a few days and I haven't heard back. And I know they're busy, but I think there's confusion there. So it might come to the point where we have to, like, maybe send them a little explanation. Okay. So we have decided that we're going to do our legit live monetization party the beginning of November, because this time of the year it's very busy for us because it's October and that's our favorite month. So the beginning of November we should have everything straightened out and settled with the YT, and hopefully by that point maybe I'll have internet here. I doubt it. I've been trying for a year. Not trying, I just haven't done it in a year, because it really sucks where we are out here in the country as far as internet. But Rusty does have Wi-Fi at her house, so we could do it at her house. We don't have a workable laptop, but she does have an iPad. So Grandma Colleen was saying that she uses that. So what we could do is film it on the phone, because I don't see the chat on the phone when I hopped on that live with Dee, and I didn't see the chat. So if Rusty and I do it, we can have Rusty look on her iPhone and kind of read the chat, and then film it from the actual phone. All right. So look forward to that. We haven't picked a date or time yet. We will give you all that information in advance to know. So any of you that on October 22nd, 6 p.m. Eastern at Dee's channel, do still go to that, because she will have her live then. But I won't be doing, the monetization party at that time. We're going to do it in November. And just to remember, don't shh, but Rusty's birthday is November 15th. Just saying, if you want to send her a card or whatever. 90% of our family is passed, so she really doesn't get any acknowledges. I mean, both my brothers are gone. Well, I only knew one of them. The other one I didn't know. My parents, grandparents, everybody died young except for my dad. My dad just passed away a couple years ago, so he was older, but he was also a stroke victim for a lot of years, where he wasn't able to really communicate very well and get around very well. So pretty much, anyway, stop Debbie Downer, cut that out. But anyway, that is, if you wanted to, P.O. Box will be down there if you want to send her a card. I know she'd get a kick out of it. And she has a sick, demented sense of humor, so feel free to send whatever crazy stuff might pop in your head. So back to the monetization party. So we're going to do that in November. Okay. Any of y'all that have been watching know that what our original plan was to have a fundraiser for our mental health and meows, where so many of you amazing, kind, generous, beautiful people had donated to me, or had mentioned that they wanted to donate mystery boxes and beautiful shawls and all that. Hold on to those, please. And I so much appreciate. All right, so what we were going to do was do a fundraiser, offering those items up for, negotiation in the live, and most interested wins type thing. But learning that YT kind of frowns on that kind of behavior, and I know a lot of people do it, there's ways around it. I just feel weird about that, just saying. And and Rusty feels weird about it too. So we have always known to trust our gut. So we're trusting our gut right now, and we're not doing that. So what? Oh, here comes Freya. So what? We're gonna do a Freya bomb. Freya bomb. Ooh, look at her eyes got red there for a second. That's the evilness in her. She is an evil cat. Yes, she is. Hi, Frey. Look at the red eye. I hope you guys are seeing that red eyes, because that's something. All right, go pick on somebody. Oh, she fights with everybody. She's just a year old, because we found her, or she found Rusty the day Thanksgiving Eve, and so she's almost a year here. Yeah, we love her. Oh, she's a pain. Fights with everybody. Just such a pain and a joy. All right, where was I? Freya, you interrupted my thought. Okay, so we were gonna do that live. Being that it's kind of frowned upon, being that Rusty and I have a weird, uncomfortable vibe with that whole concept, we're not quite sure how we're going to handle that. So, what I did do was recently, very recently, dropped a video that I've taken off. If you notice, it's gone. I took it off this morning. I dropped a video that said, wink, wink, these are the items that I have in my possession, things that I have made, things that I have, that I was showing you guys that were available, and had hoped that via email we could do the same concept as you wanted this much, I wanted a little bit more, you wanted a little bit more than I wanted it now, that game that we play in those kind of things. Being very careful with my words, as I did with in that video. And unfortunately, a few people, in my attempt to be slick and sly, I was extremely vague. Let's just stick to the facts. So in my vagueness, people misconstrued the message. And I've been getting emails, which is what I told you to do. Email me if you're interested in any of these items, hoping that the winking and all of that, and knowing where we were and what we were trying to do, that message came off loud and clear. I mean, I knew what I was talking about. How come you didn't know what I was talking about? I'm sorry. Sorry that you're shaking too, because you're on my bed on that weird wiry thing that holds my phone. So I have emailed back to everybody that emailed me and try to make it a little more clear. And those of you who understood what I meant, I emailed you back also explaining what's going on. So to eliminate further misunderstanding, I took that video down. We're not going to do it that way because, and also I thought about it, even though I know that I'm being legit, by doing it via email, unless you totally trust me, it's not transparent. So, not that anybody has brought that up as a issue, but then I thought, somebody else actually said to me, well, people that don't know you would think maybe you could be saying, oh yeah, somebody else likes it more than you, and so there again, to be fair, to be transparent, to be on the up and up, we will figure out some other way to do it. But we will be doing our live monetization party beginning of November. And all of you beautiful humans that have offered to help out, please just put those things aside, hold on to them, because I might get over my fear. And also, if you have any smalls, like I know some of you have like beautiful stitch markers or anything else that you would want to donate for the actual giveaway, or as lovely Super V says, givey away. I just crack up every time she says that word because she's so adorable. Hi V. I've been missing your channel. I know I gotta hop over there, but it's so hard to keep up with everybody. I have hundreds of people that I follow on here, and there's no way, even if I didn't sleep or do anything except watch videos, there's no way I can keep up with everybody. I really do try. And sometimes I start watching and don't finish. Sometimes I don't leave comments, but I do when I hop on. I will always leave a like. So I do apologize, but V, I steals the show and steals the show and chefs. Veronica, Super V. Okay. So if you would like to donate anything for our giveaway, please email at mamaggear@yahoo.com. Let me know, and Though the other emails that I have I have already received with their generous donations for like the bigger items, I still have them. And before we do anything with that, I will reconnect with you to make sure that that's still something that you wanted to do. And again, everything goes to the mental health of meows. It's not a 30153C, whatever all those initials are. I'm talking about nonprofit organization. I never did that because it was just something we always just did for many, 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 many years. So I never thought of making it a legitimate, because then it's a lot of paperwork and numbers, and I don't like either of those items. I mean, I like paperwork, but I have too much of it, and I tend to lose things. So I didn't want to take that step. So it's just been something out of the kindness of our hearts that we've been doing, and it's just been up to faith that we are doing, in fact, what we're saying we're doing. Okay, and we are. So. Because I know somebody else is watching, much higher than us, that knows and sees. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. I know I'm babbling on, and very disappointed that I don't have enough yarn to finish this item the way I wanted it to be. But I think I am. I think again, by talking it through, I figured it out while I'm on here. And I will go and look through my stash, which is slowly dwindling because I put a lot of stuff in some boxes, and had a couple people ask for more mystery boxes, and yes, ask me if I have something that you might like. Yes, I will send it your way. That's why I just made a box this morning for somebody who had asked. I didn't have exactly what they wanted, but I have something fairly close. And I'm hoping that today, this afternoon, that Rusty and I can run to the post office and mail that out. And thank you for asking and doing that, because it helps me clean out my yarn, organize that room a little bit, and also raises money. Very much needed money, because this time of year is tough, and I'm babbling on again, but this time of year, spring, of course, is kitten season, and at that point, that is where shelters really, really need your help. Not that they don't always need your help, but kitten season in the spring, even though they have babies other times of the year, kitten season it's like a free concert at Central Park to an amazing band. And, but this time of year is tough too, because a lot of the strays and ferals now need housing, and the housing is like, even the Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts, or whatever those little scout kids do, but they make the totes where they're upside down, and they insulate them. They do like 2 totes, and they insulate the inside and cut a hole so cats can get in. They throw like hay in there, and it gives housing to the ferals and the strays. And they also need food during the winter, especially in our area. If you're going down southern hemisphere and other hemispheres that don't have 20 feet of snow, we don't get that much snow. Sometimes it feels like it, but we don't get that much snow. But we get enough snow where it really affects the ability for the animals, the outdoor animals, to hunt and find food. So we do try to give extra food and go to colonies and canned food, dry food, things like that. And check with your local shelter too, because see if they do accept, or if the shelter actually helps specific colonies with the food and needs of those cats that are in those colonies. Not all shelters do that. Some shelters do. When they have a trap, neuter, release, or TNR, or TNVR, trap, neuter, vaccinate, release, if they have those kind of programs, they do not usually let the animals back into the wild unless there is a human or several humans that will be continuously taking care of, overseeing, feeding, fresh water that's not frozen, yada yada. to those colonies, they will not just set those animals free. Well, let's hope not. So there's that. So this time of year, the shelters and the outdoor animals need your help, including deer and all them. And I know in some areas you're not supposed to put salt licks and things like that out because people use that to lure them to hunt on them. But we don't hunt on our property, hence why we have so many deer on our property. They know it's a safe haven for them. So we will usually get a salt lick, and I'll trek up there with some whatever foods that we have here that we haven't eaten that's okay with them, and kind of drop it on the other side of the salt lick. And my dad used to do that all the time. He was the only one in his neighborhood that had beautiful flowers, beautiful gardens. Everybody else, because they had like 100-something acres behind them that was state park. So all the deer would come up and eat everybody in the neighborhood's flowers and in their gardens and stuff. My father's gardens always grew so beautifully, and all the neighbors would be like, how the heck, what are you doing, dude, to prevent, what are you using? And my father would be, well, they come here because they're hungry, so I feed them before they get here. And they didn't bother his yard because he had a salt lick. On the other side of that salt lick, he was always very kind and generous and made sure that all the little deer that were running around in that 100-acre woods were fed every day. And he always, I guess I'm really missing my dad. That's why I'm thinking a lot about him. He always said, before I have my coffee, before I feed myself, I feed my animals. This way I never forget to feed them. I just think that's really sweet. He was kind of a rough man. He was a Marine, and he fought in Korea, bomb disposal. I think I might have mentioned that on and off, but he was a troublemaking little kid. Their local neighborhood fort that they made, you know how we all make forts in our neighborhood when we're kids? Well, his made the front page of the paper, just saying. Junior high school, they stole one of the teacher's cars out of the parking lot and drove to New York City. So that was my dad. And then he lied about his age and went into the Marine Corps, fought in Korea. Apparently had a child before he married my mom, and I didn't find out about the fact that I had a half-brother until, unfortunately, the half-brother had already passed. But now I have a niece and a couple nephews that I didn't know about, which is a blessing. I just would have liked to have met my brother. Anyway, Dad always fed the animals, the squirrels, the birds. He would feed his animals, his house pets, and his outdoor wildlife before he would eat himself. He would give them his food and starve instead. That's what a wonderful man he was. Of course, he didn't let a lot of people know that he was that wonderful. A lot of the kids in the neighborhood used to think he was an old ogre, but he was really actually played that so that on like Mischief Night they would come and try to like terrorize him, but he would hide in the get a hose and bring it around up and through the window of the house, so when they would come to ring his doorbell or whatever, he would squirt them with the hose or hide behind bushes and throw eggs at them. So as much as they thought he was being an ogre, he was actually playing along with them. And I will say on Halloween, we always had, not when Mom lived, my mother didn't like Halloween, so we always had to make our own Halloween costumes and such, but after she had passed, Dad, we always had, through his garage or whatever, we always had the best little haunted house that you could walk through. He always gave full-size candies out to everybody, regardless of your age. The house was always decorated with aliens because he did do some stuff in Area 51. So we always had a belief that, yes, respect the fact that there's a pretty good chance that there are aliens out there because, my dad wasn't easily fooled. And he was under the assumption that, yes, in his life that he seen too many things to disbelieve that possibility. So anyway, that's about my dad, and I didn't mean to go off on my dad, but thank you for allowing me to have this wonderful memory time about him. He was a wonderful man, and I miss him very much. I miss my mom very much. Mom's been gone 30 years. I think this year's 30 years. And she was my best friend. And not a day went by that we didn't talk to one another. And woman had a heart of gold. Literally, I know everybody says that. I know I'm prejudiced, but you ask any of my friends growing up, each and every one of them would tell you that before they even went to their own mom, they would come to my mom and talk to her about anything. You could talk to my mother about anything. And, you know, when you're a young teenager, there's some subjects that you think are a little bit taboo to be talking to your parents about. My mom, and that's how I am and how I was with my kids. I don't care what you want to talk about. There's nothing you can say that's going to shock me. And I'm not going to judge you for anything that you want to say. So in that respect, I take after my mom in that respect. And my kind heart is from both my parents. They were both beautiful people. So if your mom and dad are still alive, it pains me to see so many people that don't get along with their parents. And I had the best relationship with my parents, especially my mom. We were best friends, best buds. And I'm like that with Rusty. And you probably see that in our videos, that there's nothing that we wouldn't do for one another. Truly. Nothing. And we love each other so very much. And God, I'm just going on like, am I purging? Is this like a therapy session? Because I feel like I'm having a therapy session with you guys. But this is very cathartic. Is that the word? Bella, is that the word, cathartic? It does pain me, even though I'm perfectly okay without ever having grandchildren, and I know Amanda says that, Rusty says that she's okay without having children, that the one thing that saddens me is that she won't have a daughter like my relationship with my mother was, and my relationship with my daughter is, that she will not have that because she had to have that operation, which now she cannot have children. You know, she had everything removed. So, yeah, there's another medical bill. But, yeah, I don't want to end on such a sad note. And this is Babbling Mundo, and I'm not apologizing, because if you're still here, that means that you are appreciating what I'm saying, or interested in what I'm saying, or being very kind and courteous to help me out for hours. So all of those things I appreciate very much. Yeah, just be good. Just be kind to your parents. Be kind to your family. You know, even if you don't get along with them. I don't get along with people. We have different views and values. The brother that I did know, I didn't talk to him very much. I didn't agree or approve of his way of living, but that was his choice. I still loved him. I wish he knew that I loved him. He might still be here because he made a decision that took him away from us. And maybe if he knew that I loved him, I didn't like him very much, but I did love him. And maybe if he knew that, and he knew that I would have accepted him into my home when he was having his difficulties, and I would have let him stay here to get himself together and get himself up and on his feet. Maybe if he knew that that was available, maybe he'd still be here. He wouldn't have made that choice that he did. So, wow. I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, love the people that love you. Love them even if they don't love you. There's other people in my life that are angry with me for whatever reasons, but I still love you. I'm still here for you. I don't judge you. And I'm sorry that I am ending. I didn't want to end on such a sad place, but I'm just really feeling very sad today. So I think I'm going to click off, and thank you all for everything. You guys are really beautiful, and wake up, smell the coffee, and I'll leave you with what my father used to say. I'll get up every morning, I look in the paper. If my name's not in the obituary, I make myself a damn good cup of coffee. That's Pops. That's my dad. All right, guys, I'm going to go, and sorry if I was too long. And if you're still here, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you all. Be well and have a beautiful day. Enjoy this gorgeous day that you were given. This is a gift. That's why they call it the present.